Assalamu alaikum, dear colleagues and friends. Welcome to another conversation, a very fascinating conversation. And today we have with the son of the soil who has made something very big in his life. So today we are in conversation with Dr. Aadil Zeffer. Dr. Aadil Zeffer is currently a cultural ambassador to the United States of America. He's a boy from Kashmir's Bandipora town, and he has been to the different places. I mean, he's currently has an experience of teaching English, having more than 5 years of teaching experience in different countries, and he has around 500 certificates to his credit, including Ph.D, M.Phil, and he has been to the best of the institution in the world, starting from IIT Kanpur to Cambridge University, and currently he's presently working as cultural ambassador to the United States of America and is working as a faculty in the Department of Middle East and the South Asian Studies, University of North Carolina, United States of America. Now, this will be a sort of an informal conversation with the scholar. Dr. Aadil, welcome to this conversation.
Thank you so much for giving me the chance, for giving me the opportunity to be here with you. Thank you once again.
Okay, Dr. Aadil, let us begin by briefly tell us something about yourself. I mean, tell us briefly about your journey from Kashmir to United States of America, and what are the other countries you had actually visited?
Yeah, well, this is actually a journey of 8 countries. As far my travel is concerned, then it's a journey of 13 countries. But as for my educational journey is concerned, then it's a journey of 8 countries, starting from India to the Gulf, to the UK, then to the European countries, and now to the USA. So I started my education from Kashmir itself. I did some of this basic schooling from district Bandipora itself, then my graduation from Degree College Bandipora, then I moved to the Central University of Kashmir, and from there to Aligarh Muslim University. And from there, I joined the Ministry of Education, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where I worked for more than 3 years. And from there, I joined the Cambridge University, and I did my CELTA from there. And next year, I moved to France, Italy, Spain, where I did some of the courses. Apart from the traveling, and there are other countries which I did, like Belgium, Netherlands, Scotland, and there are many more. And finally, this year, I had applied for this Fulbright scholarship last year, and it takes 1 long year to complete the application process. So this year I'm in the US, and I've been fortunate enough, I must say, that I got a chance to visit so many countries, and my gratitude to God is infinite and endless. Also, I was beyond lucky to have many good people in my life, and I appreciate the love, kindness, and support which allowed me to grow and flourish in many ways that I had never expected. I have also taught in 4 countries, which include, again, the US, the UK, Saudi Arabia, and India. So this is a bit about my educational journey, how it has been so far.
Okay, thank you. So this must have been a fascinating journey from a Kashmiri boy, and having been to different institutions and the different countries. This must have been a fascinating journey. Okay, if you can tell us, Dr. Aadil, how did this came into your mind? And usually, what we in Kashmir and in this part of the world do, that we end up going to the colleges and then to the universities, and then we land back to our hometowns or villages. So how did this come into your mind that I had to go to country like United Kingdom, country like United States of America? Was it early on in your school, or how did this happen?
Yeah, I must say that I had I had certain fascination for traveling right from my childhood. I always wanted to visit different places and meet new people. So that thing was already there in my mind. But I was not sure that I'll be able to do it Again, as I said, I'm grateful to God, grateful to Almighty Allah, who gave me the chance to visit so many countries and have my education from 8 different countries of the world. So actually, this started from Aligarh Muslim University, where I had a good friend circle who always just pushed me for high dreams, who helped me just researching all these options. And as I had a fascination towards them and I worked on them, I put my heart on them, and I started my journey like that. And it started from Saudi Arabia, where from I did my job, and from there I again contacted many of my colleagues, many of my friends, who again I usually took their consultation and just find out the ways how I can travel to more countries, how I can explore more new things. From Saudi Arabia, I started my journey to UK, then Scotland, and the next year I made plans for Europe. In that year only, in 2009, it's top of 2019, I got admission in Harvard University as well in America. But on the other side, I had I had the option to visit Europe as well. I had admissions there as well. So then I decided at the time that in Europe I'll get a chance to visit more countries, and I dropped the USA option in 2019. And I moved to Europe, but it again was in my mind that I had to cover the USA as well in future, at some point of time in future. And so that was in my mind. So let me first complete the Europe trip, and then I will come to the US trip. Once I moved back to India, and I was busy with my research work and my papers, and in the meantime, I applied for the Fulbright scholarship, and I got luckily I got selected, and presently I'm talking to you from the US itself. So this was
Okay.
this was a
So
bit
this,
of it.
yes, this must have been a fascinating journey. So since you mentioned it, now currently you are on Fulbright Fellowship to the United States of America. So tell us something about this Fulbright. What this Fulbright Fellowship is all about, and once a person is selected on this particular fellowship, what all is expected from him, Dr. Aadil?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. This has been a fascinating journey, as you said. Like, it's always a pleasure to meet new people, to have a cultural exchange between different cultures, to just know more about new places. It develops you and it helps in your growth. So now coming to your second question, actually there are many big and prestigious scholarships. It's not just the Fulbright scholarship. There are other scholarships as well, which are the prominent ones, and which I would like to name here. Some of them are like Commonwealth Scholarship, then the Tuning Scholarship is there, then Erasmus is there, then DAAD, which of Germany, that's there, then Gates Cambridge Scholarship is there. Then there are certain scholarships from the University of Oxford, then there's Fulbright Scholarship, then there is a scholarship offered by Stanford University, then there are Australia Award Scholarship, and there are many more. But these are the prominent ones. Like, for example, this Fulbright Scholarship that covers almost more than 150 countries of the world. So we can just imagine how extensive this scholarship is. Again, the Commonwealth, that's again a prominent scholarship, and that also covers more than 100 countries of the world. Like, the participation is on a global level. It's not just limited to some of the countries, but like, as I said, it's on record that Fulbright, it covers more than 150 countries. We have luckily we got a chance to have a mid-year conference in the Washington DC, which usually starts in the month of November. So people from all around the world, from almost more than 100 or 150 countries, they will come there, and we'll just get a chance to meet each other. and these scholarships, which I just mentioned, they usually cover all your expenditures, like the university fees, they like the maintenance allowances, like the airfare, like your insurance. So each and everything is covered by this university, and it's always better to apply for as many as many of them, as sometimes you get offers from many of them and you get a choice too in that sense. So now, like coming to the procedure, like it's easy. Like we do have access now to the YouTube and the Google. People usually do, like I too did the same thing. Sometimes you need the help, but there is another option as well. If you don't have anyone around which can tell you about these scholarships, there's no need to lose your heart. So you have a cell phone, you have a laptop, you have access to your laptop, so you can just go to the YouTube or go to the Google. You can type in there different scholarships for international students, so a list will come up there, or you can individually check these scholarships one by one. For example, Commonwealth Scholarship, Turing Scholarship, Erasmus Scholarship, DAAD Scholarship, Gates Cambridge Scholarship, Rhodes Scholarship, Scholars Program at Stanford University, Fulbright Scholarship, or Australia Award Scholarship. So all the details will come up there, and like all the eligibility criteria will be there. The timeline will be there, when the applications will be out, when the shortlisting will be done, when there will be interviews, and what will be the follow-up things when there will be language tests, because most of the scholarship they needs language tests as like IELTS or TOEFL and so on. So you can accordingly you can prepare yourself, as I mentioned at the outset as well, that these scholarships they usually they cover almost, the application process covers almost 1 year, maybe a little less or maybe a little more than that. So like you had to be prepared well in advance for that, because you have to write your essays, you have to prepare for the language test, you have to prepare for the interviews. So like everything will be mentioned there once you go to the YouTube or once you go to the Google. So and they will just guide you, because there will be, you will find many videos what are the preference, what they look for, what different scholarships, what they look for, what they want in a candidate, what they want in an applicant. So just you can just prepare yourself accordingly. For example, what are the things that I should focus in an essay? So they will give you the hints there, what they actually look for, what they want from you. So you can make notes by the side, you can have a notebook by your side, and you can just make the notes of the timeline, you can make notes of the eligibility criteria, you can make notes what's wanted from a particular kind of scholarship, and you can then start preparing accordingly. And again, like for TOEFL, as the TOEFL that was needed for me as well for this Fulbright scholarship. So again, I didn't attend any coaching and all that. So what I did, again, the same thing, I went to the YouTube, I typed there, and I got some lectures for reading, writing, speaking, listening. I got lectures for all of these, and I just tried to listen to them. I just practiced them. And again, on the other hand side, I went to the Google, I typed there material for this TOEFL, then .pdf, and I got the material, very good material. I got there free of cost, and I just revised all that material again. So something applies to other scholarships as well. So what sort of information you need, so everything will come up there. Just yeah, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, Dr. Adil, of course, we could get a lot of information from the YouTube and Google and all that. For example, if you can tell us, for example, if a person from Kashmir, for example, since you belong to the land, you are from this, how much are the chances for a Kashmiri or for an Indian, for that matter, to get selected in these kind of scholarships, whether Commonwealth, and what are the, actually, if you could briefly tell us what are the parameters, sort of criteria maybe 1, 2, or 3 criteria on which they make their selections?
Yeah, actually, I would rather say like it's not impossible to get these kind of scholarships. We can say like these scholarships, they need patience, they need bit more hard work. That they need more preparation time, and like these are the basic things which are needed. For example, we are mostly used to the application forms which do not take more than a week or like so. But here, the application process, I said, they can take months, they can take your months, or they can take one complete year. So you need to show your patience. Uh, if like you are prepared for that, then like it's not a big deal to get into these scholarships, because already there are many students, there are many candidates from Kashmir, or for that matter from India, like every year, who join these prestigious scholarships, who join the Commonwealth Scholarship, who join again the Schilling Scholarship, who join the Erasmus Scholarship, who join the DAAD German program, who join the Fulbright Scholarship. So just your patience is needed, just your hard work, and that's only. And to be frank enough, like it's all just the result of your preparation, hard work, and learning from the mistakes, and push their dreams into existence. And again, success is never an accident. It's just your hard work, perseverance, learning, and sacrifice, and all that. The only thing that stands between us and success is continuous progress. And our greatest weakness, I must say, it lies in sometimes giving up things.
So let us come to another part of this. Can I ask you how and what is the importance of English language in all these scholarships? How important, or if at all they are important, and to what extent they are important?
Yeah, like again, I would say like the perfection is not needed, and nobody can be perfect, especially in the English language, because there are too much technicalities in the grammar and all that. So just one thing is needed. You should be able to communicate. You should be able to express yourself, and that's the only thing which is needed. Like it's not mandatory to score the 100% in IELTS, to score the 100% in TOEFL, but there is a certain limit. Like you have to cross that certain percentage there. For example, in the Fulbright scholarship, there are 120 out of 120. You have to score around I guess 79 marks. So like that's the minimum possible eligibility criteria. So you don't need to score 120 out of 120. So you still have a margin there. So again, the same thing applies to IELTS as well, but it's always better if you score higher marks, if you score good marks. So more opportunities will knock your door. You'll get more offers, you will get better universities. So that's again a fact, and we can't deny that as well. But again, this is not something like which we can't do, or which students can't do. Like if one takes them seriously, so I guess it's again not a big deal, and one can get through these language tests very easily.
Let's go to another area. For example, here since you have been to many educational institutions in the world, could you please help us understand in what ways the educational system of European or maybe American universities is different from the Indian universities or Indian education system?
Yeah, I would say like our universities, our institutions, they too are progressing now day by day, and like we have certain reformations going on in the education sector in India as well. We have that new education policy, um, which is about to be or like which is already there now, which has been dispatched to the universities. So we have certain prestigious institutions like let's talk about the IITs, the IIMs. I guess they are at par with international standards. Again, like we can see the statistics of especially of the computer programming and IT departments. I guess I read somewhere recently that 40% of the CEOs are like India is on number second in terms of CEOs of these multinational companies around the globe. So like they have a name around the world, like ISC Bangalore, these IITs, IIMs. Then there are certain central universities as well, but this model should be followed down by the other institutions, by the state universities and by other universities as well. And and now what's the difference between the Western education system and our education system? I guess just we need to be more focused, and we need to put more and more efforts, and we need to be honest with ourselves. uh, so I guess it will grow that way, and we can just progress more, and we can globally compete more as we're competing now. So, and it's always better, like if we have better results than the
So,
previous years.
so the message is clear that there are some good institutions in this country also. Of course, we need to push them further, and we need to push the horizons of scholarship. And plus, a lot more institutions should, in a way, go and deliver quality educations. Okay, so in conclusion, Dr. Saab, tell us if you have some message to the educated youth of the country or to the valley. What could be that message be?
Yeah, the message is simple. Just setting goals, setting your respective goals. That the first step in turning the invisible thing into the visible. There is always an option to move up the scale, and I'm sure we can always do better if we wish to. Just pursue consistency. The harder the task, the more glorious the results, and that's a natural thing. I'll just say that know your strengths, believe in yourself, and always try to create positive energy around you. Never be limited by other people's limited imaginations. Have the support of good friends, and believe in God. Perseverance is not a long race. It is many short races, one after the another. I reminded here of Albert Einstein, the great physicist. He once said that it's not that I'm so smart, it's just I stay with problems longer. And the other thing which I would like to discuss here is that they try to make your lives beautiful. And what I mean by beautiful here is that beauty, that's actually an inclusive concept comprising of three Latin terms, I would say. The first one is integritas, then consonantia, then claritas. The integritas is the wholeness and non-deficient, in which nothing essential is lacking or nothing extraneous is present. For example, what I mean to say, you need to collect all the elements which are needed for your growth, for your success. You need to collect all those elements, and you need to put them together. So you should have all the elements. You should have all those things which are needed to crack a competitive exam or to be successful, which we know, like different exams, they need different things. And the second is consonantia, which means the proportionality. Ph.D., which suitably correspond to other areas as well. For example, proportionality in relation to an end or the purpose of that thing. So there should be a proper proportion of those things, like how much hard work is needed, how much efforts are needed, and one should be able to balance all those things. And the third one is then the last one is claritas, and which means radiance. And radiance, that's actually the result. So once you do the first two things, once you get the elements and then put those elements together, and you just have the proper proportion of those elements, and then naturally, and now it's a time for the results, and the result that will now impress the perceiver, and that will reveal your reality. So in this way, we can make our selves beautiful, which will manifest ourselves as an aesthetic entity. So something that's truly beautiful and has all the constituent elements. So this is a little message from my side.
So Dr. Aadil, thank you so much. I mean, this was a fascinating conversation for me. I believe you are already a source of inspiration for thousands and millions of people in this part of the country, and I'm sure that you will continue to inspire us. I'm thankful to you for taking time and talking to us live from the United States of America. I believe you are in the dead of night there. You must, we have taken a lot of your time. I'm so excited and thankful to you that we could finally have this conversation. And I'm sure through this conversation, we will inspire many more Aadilis, and many more Aadilis from this part of the country will go to the Europe and the American university. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. It was such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.